Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Big Bros podcast. My name is Iland, and I'm joined by my lovely friend and co-host Jeremy. But more importantly, we have jackmcintosh in town. Flew all the way from WA just to see us. Isn't that right? Just for us, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Amazing. Yeah, there was nothing else going on here that got you to come to Melbourne.
No, it's just for this podcast. I'm out after this. But yeah, thanks for having me, boys.
Mate, we're so keen to dive into it. I mean, look, we feel like we've been along the journey together with you since the commencement of Big Bros. I mean, we just linked up over TikTok and Instagram and we saw a likable guy. So yeah, I guess give the listeners a little bit of an insight into what you do content-wise for those that don't know.
Yeah, I'm Jack Mac. What do I do content-wise? It's changed over the years. When I first started, I was doing uncomfortable challenges. It was almost like an excuse to start posting content. Two and a bit years ago, there's no way you could get me in front of a camera talking on a podcast. Like, it just wouldn't happen, even though I'd want it. So I guess, I started off doing uncomfortable challenges, just an excuse, and I guess you get growth out of it as well. So it was a win-win situation. And then I remember posting a video of me dancing in the beach to an old tune, and it was like my first sort of, it didn't go viral or anything, but it was like well received. I was like, is there something in this? And I'd seen a couple other guys do it, like a guy in South Africa, and he like kills it. So I was like, fuck, I'm just going to keep this thing going. And then started posting quotes, me dancing, like just motivational stuff, something to make you smile if you cross my page. And then, I don't know, nowadays it's like I'm a bit lost. Got rejected a bit too hard, so it's just rattled me.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I'm sort of figuring it all out. But I think at the end of the day, at the crux of it, I just want to be this authentic version of me where I can show up as myself and I can inspire people. Like, that's true, because I know what it's like to want to fit in with the crowd, work that 9 to 5. I don't want to shame anyone that works 9 to 5, but like if you have this calling for something more and you feel it inside, like that's what I want to get out of people. And like if you're in your 20s, like take a risk. That's the crux of my message.
And you feel like you took a risk by posting all that content? For
sure. And I mean, I went to a thing called Cold Nips in Perth, and you have to go, like at the start of the thing, you go up to a stranger and you get a question that you have to ask. And this one was, what's the most courageous thing you've done in the past 2 years or something? And this was at the height of like me getting cancelled. And so I was very, very scared to talk to women. Anyways, I was next to one, got chatting to her, very, very nice. She was from Sydney. And the question was, most courageous thing you've done? She says, moving to Perth, like solo. And I was like, yeah, fuck no, that's courageous. Then it was my turn, and I was thinking this whole time, I was like, fuck, I've done a lot of stuff, but what's the most courageous thing? What's like led me to where I am today, sort of thing? And I said, like, it was starting to post content, and like, I don't know, I thought that was like, courage is defined as if something is scary and you do it anyways, like that's courage. And I was fucking shit scared. Like, I posted this, one of my first videos was me singing, like that, like even today, that still scares the shit out of me. And so I've told her this, and she's gone on, I know this is going on a bit of a tangent, but she's gone on to Abby Chatfield's TikTok or whatever she made of me, and gone and commented that was what happened. Like, she's told her the scenario. I'm just like, what the fuck is like going on in the world? Like, for someone to just take a vulnerable conversation and try and like spread it in a negative way, just crazy. And then Abby laughed at that. It's like, yeah, privilege apparently.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's that thing where you can only control the controllables, right? And that's something Ilan and I talk about sometimes. You can only control what you can control, and everything else. Look, man, it's a cruel world out there, isn't it? And like, I'm sure you're the first to know that at the moment. But I think in the like the early days, it was the love and the happiness and just the feeling that you gave off in your videos was really just like you do not give a fuck about anything. And that came through the dancing, it came through the singing videos, it came through the uncomfortable challenges. And that's what I think drew us and so many of your followers to you in the first place. And like, I can't help to think, but like, especially like as a bloke, like, that is a hard thing to do, to just get in front of the camera and start dancing. You don't see too many do it. And that's why I think the people like Ollie Bowman blew up so much, because he is, so great at doing that. And I feel like, you followed in those footsteps in your own awesome way as well. But like, were you always that just happy-go-lucky kid that would do those things in school, out of school? Like, did that just come as second nature for you, or was that something where you felt like you were going out of your comfort zone to do that in front of the camera?
It's a weird one. I've reflected on it quite hard, because like Egan says this to me all the time. He's like, if you never told me like how you felt during this period before I started posting content, I would have never thought this about you, and I would have just thought this is what you do. But I think it's like the intent behind it and like the why, because I was just trying to fit in, make people laugh. Like at the start, because I used to dance and be a dickhead and all that sort of fun stuff. But now it's for a different reason, and it's still scary. Like social media is a wide, deep ocean, and yeah, I don't know. I'm actually really cool. It's cool to hear you guys talk about that, because like I feel like I was a different person when I first started, and I think having that authentic energy and like excitability, and I think it's just like, I don't know, it draws people for sure.
Yeah.
It draws people.
It draws people because we don't see it often, right? Especially like, I mean, in mine and Ilan's friendship group, nobody's doing that. And I think that would honestly speak for a lot of just male friendship groups entirely. Like, how often does someone in the friendship group be like, you know what, I'm going to put a camera in front of myself, start dancing in front of it, and say some happy quote that'll hopefully, get people up and about. Like, as blokes, unfortunately, we don't see it happen too much. We're too busy being consumed by a beer in a pub, right? So that's why I think it is so encapsulating. And yeah, like, it just always led me to think, like, was that always you, or was it just something that, just you got on a roll with doing? But, I feel like it always was, because you can see that authenticity from the get-go.
Yeah. Do you reckon people kind of forgot that aspect about you? Obviously, with the last couple of months, with everything that happened for you and kind of the negative impact it had as well, do you think people forgot that version of Jack McIntosh, that version that, inspired people to be themselves, to be vulnerable, not to care what anyone else thinks?
From what I've found when I would go out and have conversations with people, a lot of people thought it was like this fake front. I don't know. Some people thought it was like to try and get girls, and like, I think I'm doing the opposite.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think people just had this, they all had their different perceptions, right? And I think that's just the world these days. So it's such a hard one to answer, I'd say. Like, I don't know.
For the record,
Yeah.
we do want to see that version of you. Like, and we hope it hasn't been lost. That's the thing.
Man, for sure. I think I've felt flat, like, the past 2 months, like, so flat. I'm like, what am I doing? Being like very scared to, like, I was scared to go out in public, because there was, like, when I did go out, I went to the gym, anxiety an all-time high, and you just don't even want to look at anyone, because like, you're going to be seen as a creep, or you're harassing people or whatever. And there was this group of girls just standing, they were standing behind me, so I didn't see them, but Egan was doing an exercise that was looking towards me, and he could see them. And like, I think they were taking photos or just like whispering and then pointing and laughing at me. And I'm just like, fuck, this is just, it sort of ruins you. And I get it. It made me understand why people strip themselves back, lay low, just wanna, I don't know, like, hide in the bed sort of thing. Like,
Do the norm, whatever the norm
like,
is.
because then no one can judge me, and I'm just safe. I'm doing what everyone else is doing, and that's sort of what was going in my head. And at the same time, like when I was doing the rejection therapy, I was like questioning myself hard. I'm like, but like my intentions are always so pure, and
Yeah.
I don't know, when people are trying to tell you who you are and what you do and why you do things, like a lot of people, it can seriously get to you, no matter how strong. I thought I didn't give a fuck what people thought, and then this happened, and I'm like, holy shit, like, and that's why I'm grateful for the experience, because now it's like gone to a whole new level.
Do you feel like you've kind of uncovered a different version of yourself, a different layer of who you are deep down that you honestly didn't even know existed?
We have to be very, it's made me realize you have to be so almost sure in yourself, because if you're not, people will dictate who you are, especially in the public eye. Like, they can dictate you, and if they're telling you who you are and you're not sure in yourself, that's when I guess you can lose your personality and you can go vanilla.
And do you reckon that happened for you? I mean, with the whole response video after all the aftermath, there was that element. You got quite emotional and you got quite vulnerable. For some people, they said it was performative. Looking back on everything, was there a part of you that regrets not being a little bit stronger with your response, a bit more assertive?
That's a great question. I'm massive on not regretting anything, because I think there was a reason that I decided to cry, or I felt like crying. There's a reason that I said that I didn't read books. Like, it was just it taught me that you shouldn't respond to things when you're emotional. Like, when your emotions are high, you're not going to respond how you truly want to. So that was the lesson that I learnt. In saying that, I was obviously meant to do that to learn that lesson. And throughout my whole life, like, I've been quite prone to responding emotionally and quick and fast and defensive and all that sort of stuff. So it was just another lesson I had to learn, and unfortunately it was the hard way.
I think with all that, I want to come back to the point you mentioned before about being sure of yourself.
Yep.
That is one that I feel like, we hear so much on the internet about, it's okay to not be so sure of yourself and just go with the flow in life, and it doesn't matter what people think, don't give a fuck about what people think. But then, you go through something so testing like you went through in the eyes of public eyes as well. And I feel like it's so easy to look at it from face value and think, if I was in this position, I would know how I would respond, because I'm sure of myself and I know that I am a confident person and I stand strong with my values. But what a load of crap until you actually go through something like this. It's almost as if, like, do we really know how sure of ourselves we are until we're truly tested to one form of another?
I'm stupid. Like, it took me a while to get to this, but I'm very, very grateful for this whole experience, purely because 0.00001% of the population get to experience this. Like, I'd love to see how many views in total everything's had. Like, it hit America and shit. And did you read I think it was my latest Instagram post? Like, it was just the writing one.
I saw the one with all the different windows about...
No. It was an actual post, like, on Instagram. Anyways, I did this big spiel, and it's pretty much saying that, like, I'm thankful, I'm grateful for this, because you don't know who you are until you get tested. It's so, when everyone's clapping for you, when everyone's supporting you,
Yeah.
even if you're getting hated at a small level, like, none of this stuff actually tests you. And then this is why I'm grateful, because, like, I got tested at one of the highest forms, like a public trial, if you will. When I was in a first aid course, and I've walked out of the first aid course and I've opened my phone, and it's the first thing that's come on my phone. It was very fresh as well, had not that many views, and I was going to stitch it straight away while I was walking to the train station. I was going to respond right there and then, because I listened to this and I was like, what is this bullshit? Like, that was my first reaction. I was like, what is this bullshit? Like, how is this being twisted this way? We just want to have a conversation. I've messaged fucking hundreds of people to, like, catch up, ones that I've never met. That's how I met Sam Witness. And where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I wanted to make a video right then and then, and I was like, and then people told me no. I was like, okay, just going to leave it. But then it's kept going. People, because I didn't care that if people knew it was me or not. Like, I wasn't afraid. And then, it was like this massive thing of everyone's just giving me advice of what I should do. Some people were like, go Jake Paul mode and fucking just go against them. And I'm like, oh, no, that's not quite me. And then some people were just saying, like, just say sorry. And how the actual video came out was I was on a phone call for 3 hours with someone who I considered a mentor, a strong woman. We're on a phone call for 3 hours. Well, like Egan was as well. And I was sort of just ruminating, like, while they were talking, just so in my thoughts. And I was like, Egan, end the call, set the camera up. I just need to talk now. Yeah. And just a side note, vulnerability doesn't just mean crying. I think people have this twisted, like, vulnerability equals crying. That's not the case. That's not what vulnerability is. If you need to know what vulnerability is, search it up.
On the flip side though, mate, I wanted to jump in and say, what did you learn about friendships in this time? Because, I mean, it sounds like, someone like Egan there by your side and, the support system you had around you was awesome. What did you learn about friendships?
Oh, this one might make me cry again. So, like, I don't know why, but I'm still figuring out why. But for some reason, I've always struggled to feel proud of myself and feel loved. I'm not too sure why yet, but that's, getting through that. And to feel the love that I felt going through, like, I don't know, like, that's why I'm also grateful for this, because I truly felt loved. Even though I was getting hated more than I've ever been hated before in my life, I've never felt more loved as well, which was really, powerful.
How'd you feel it?
What do you mean?
How'd you feel love? What were the things that, made you feel love?
Just how everyone was coming to, it wasn't even backing me in. It's like, I know who you are. You're such a good person. And it wasn't even that. It was just the feeling. It was the feeling.
Can't put
like
words
I said,
to it
like,
sometimes.
I hadn't felt that in a long time, if ever, and it felt amazing. Like, I don't really know how to describe it, but I think, it definitely made Egan and I's friendship stronger and closer, which people would probably think, looking from the outside, would be the opposite, because he didn't make a video. It looked like he wasn't defending me, but on the inside, he was my number one, just looking after me.
Unreal, mate. I want to pivot away from this and talk about. I want to talk about your swimming, mate, because that's something that is also always on your feed and something that you're so, like, it's like embedded in your character. And Ilan and I had an recent episode about following a plan and not following your mood. And I feel like when we look at your swimming, it's a prime example of that, when you do something no matter how you're feeling on that day. So how many days have you been up to?
This is interesting, because I was with Egan. It was after I got back from Japan, and there was this one night I was like, fuck it, I'm going to stop the streak. So
just like a Snapchat streak.
Not
stop sending the S.
No. So no one actually knows this except for Egan. But I stopped the streak. So the streak's done. It finished at, I don't know the exact number, maybe like 760 something.
Wow.
But I decided to stop it. And the funny thing is, I stopped it for one day, and then I've been every day since. And
Call it a pause.
Yeah, it was more like
restored streak.
Okay, why am I doing this? Am I just going to stupid lengths sometimes? Like, you should just do it because you love it. And it's so habitual in me. Like, I'll just go now. Very grateful as well to live close to the beach. But it's so funny how things shift, because at the very start, when did I start? 2023. Yeah, started 2023.
Whoa.
It was just for a whole different reason. Like, I wanted to challenge myself. I thought I wasn't disciplined. I just needed to change in my life. I loved the beach, but I hadn't been going as much. Like, all these sort of things. And I tried it in 2021, and I failed, like, with 5 months in or something like that. And then I was like, no, I'm giving it another shot in 2023. One of the greatest things I've ever done, because I've found so much peace and for me personally, I don't know about you boys, but I used to struggle to like sit with myself and sit with my thoughts, and I'd always try and put myself around people because distractions and you know, other people can make you feel good and talk about other stuff, but far out have I got to know myself by doing this and just going to the beach late at night, whenever. Truly one of the greatest things.
Pretty good self-care strategy, eh?
I recommend it to anyone, but I say to people, like, the reason the ocean's good is because you jump in, your head hits the water, boom, mood change straight away. Like, feels amazing. But I say to people, just do something that you love. You've probably seen this. Do something that you love more often than not. Try, like, it doesn't have to be every day. You don't have to put an expectation on it, but if you're doing things that you love more often than not, good days equal good weeks equal good months equal good life, or good years, and then good years equal good life. So,
you know what's funny about that? That's actually like one of the main therapies prescribed generally for people with a really bad low mood. It's because you want to try and accumulate as many positive and joyful experiences as possible, so it can almost, first of all, reinvigorate that person to start engaging with those activities again. But also, as you just said, the more good moments you have in a day, the less likelihood you have of having more bad moments, right? It's going to outweigh.
Yeah. Oh, and even if you have like a bad day at work or anything like that, just finishing the day with a swim was just like my happy place sort of thing. And
were you ever doing it with people as well? Or, I mean, obviously 90% of the time it's just you, and think about all of those minutes just being on your own. But, you know, do you feel like there was almost like a bandwagon of people that eventually also saw that as inspiration and followed in your footsteps too?
Yeah, it was really cool getting messages over the 2 and a bit years. Like, people would message me saying, oh, I'm starting to go to the beach every single day this month. And I'm just like, that's fucking cool. Like, I know the impact it's had on me, so I'm sure it's going to impact that person. So, yeah, I mean, I've had a few of those messages, but it's about just doing what you love. Like, to be honest, life is just full of moments. We, especially these days, try and look fucking so far forward or so far back, and I think we forget that, like, just enjoy this moment. I'm in a fucking podcast with boys that I met online 2 years ago, and now I've finally met them in person. We're having a great conversation. I think it's so easy to take yourself out of the moment. Like, when we're chatting right now, we're not currently thinking like, be present. We're just present.
Just are, yeah.
And I think that's something that gets misconstrued as well. Like, people think being present is this thing you think yourself into, but it's genuinely just not thinking at all and just being in this flow state, which I think is really cool.
Absolutely.
I love that a lot. I'm curious to know as well, because like when you do something consistently enough, even on those days, again, following the plan, not the mood necessarily, what do you learn about yourself being so consistent with that one thing?
Man, there's so many days I didn't want to go, and I just know not only that I had to do it, but when I do it, I'm just going to feel good. I know I'm going to feel good after. It's the knowing that how it's going to make me feel. Like, that's why we do things, right? It's all about how we want to feel.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me do it. Follow the plan, not the mood, for sure. But yeah, that's why I say, like, for some people it's not going to be going to the beach swimming. For some people it's going to be playing the piano.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that they love. It gets them in the flow state. Yeah, we've all got our different things that makes us click, and that just happens to be mine.
With that, on the lines of work, I mean, a big part of our show is, you know, encouraging people to try new things and keep trying new things until they enjoy it. You know, whether that's a university course, whether that's what they're doing for work, whatever it is. And, you know, you've done something incredibly courageous as well, which was stepping away from your job, which is what you've spoken about that online as well. But with that, how scary was it? What did you feel the night before making that decision as well, going in on the day and doing it? And what message would you give to people in their 20s who are thinking the same thing, who are maybe in that grind of a job and they're fucking hating it and they want more out of life, but they're scared to go to boss man and say, I'm handing in my papers today?
Yeah, great question. It's funny how much hate I got for something that doesn't involve anyone else but myself. Like,
Wow.
it's my career, and everyone apparently hates me for it, which was funny. But yeah, it's a funny story actually. So I never wanted to be a Sparky. Sort of just got like forced into it during COVID, during COVID. And yeah, had so many moments where I wanted to quit, hated the job. And then I think something that I learned is like over time, you become like a robot and you stop hating things. You don't love it, but you stop hating it, and it's like, this is what I do. You're so in routine, you actually stop thinking. And then I have like moments where I'm like, nah, fuck this, I want to quit. And so that was like my whole apprenticeship. And yeah, look, I'm not going to lie. It was, Egan just one day said to me, we're sitting in the office, and he was just like, why are you, because like I was getting close to finishing. He was like, why are you finishing it? And I was like, well, I don't want to let my dad down. I think it'd be a waste of time, all these things. And it's like, well, okay, are you going to, he was just asking me these questions. And then I was like, fuck it, let's do it. Like, this is probably the positive thing of acting out of emotions. This is the other side of things. And I just texted my boss, texted my parents. It was during Christmas holidays. My parents were away, and that was fucked, man. I'm pretty sure he's got a video of me somewhere, like, of how I was feeling at that time. But like, yeah, it's so funny thinking back to, like, I was so fucking scared, but that's just anxiety, right? Like, with future casting, like, what's this like, my parents gonna hate me, or what's my boss gonna say, all this shit. So yeah, it wasn't really a planned thing, but it also was, like, it was a long time coming. I just didn't enjoy it, never want to do it again. And it's sort of like a burn the boats sort of thing, where it's like, okay, well, if I finish this, there's a chance I get stuck. And I don't want that. I do not want to live this life being a Sparky. Right or wrong, that's how I want to live my life. And yeah, obviously right now, it's on the outside, it would be like, this guy's fucking lost the plot. When's he going back to being a Sparky? He's not successful. He's just been cancelled online or whatever.
Does it kind of, in a way though, just make you excited for now and for what's to come, just because of the feeling of the unknown and the opportunities that not might just open up for you, but that you might forge for yourself, because you've probably got so much more time now that you didn't have previously. And, you know, you're a creative motherfucker. We see the videos you make and you post online, and people fall in love with those videos. So does it kind of lead you down a route of maybe opening doors up to yourself that you might not have known existed, in terms of your creativity and what's out there for you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think, I mean, the thing that fucked it was, like, I was so convinced of this path that I was on, and I'm like, yeah, if I just do this, this, and this, then things are going to happen. And then the whole situation happened. It sort of just threw me, and I'm like, what do I actually want in life? It caused deep reflection, which was a positive thing. I'm just a big believer in, if you do something you love and you work hard for it, you're passionate about it, you're going to make it happen. It might not be the first time, might not be the second, but eventually it will happen.
And was that your biggest kind of reflection?
I'd say so, yeah. And it was just a good reminder of, like, life is obviously not easy. We all know that, but life is not straightforward. When you think it is, that's when life will come to test you. I feel like that's happened to me many times, and it was a very good reminder that, yeah, it still happens.
What's the next steps for JackMcintosh?
So when I was in Gold Coast, a lot of brainstorming, and I'm going to be starting confidence coaching.
Wow.
Love it.
Super excited. Still developing frameworks and how I want to go about it. I don't want to be there's so many coaches out there. And I feel like this is just my perception, but I feel like a lot of them are just doing it for like a quick hit of money or whatever it is. I truly believe that I can, and people think you build confidence. That's just a load of fucking bullshit. Go look at a 3-year-old man or a 5-year-old. the most confident people ever. They're not consumed by society. They all dance in front of a massive crowd. They do not give a fuck. And then I feel like, from what I've heard from parents, is you slowly watch that deteriorate and then become more vanilla through so many different things.
What would be your kind of definition then of confidence? I know it's hard to wrap it up in a sentence, but what are the things that I guess come to your mind when you think of confidence? What would you tell people?
It's being scared and doing it anyways. Having the confidence in yourself. I know you shouldn't be using the word in the definition, but like having like the surety, like, okay, this is uncertain what I'm about to do, but I know however this plays out, I know me. This will be okay. Like, I'm scared, but no, I'm confident.
That's always
that's not a good definition,
mate. No, that is always what I thought.
Yeah, I was
going to
say this is very similar to kind of your definition you mentioned a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I just feel like it's the thought of knowing that you will be okay no matter what situation you're placed in.
I think that's also, it's not just confidence, but that's courage, is it not? Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's being comfortable with whatever consequences might come your way and accepting those consequences as the cost of doing business.
And knowing that when it does come your way, you know that you'll deal with it. You know, you might not deal with it in the best way that you know that you maybe can, but you know that you'll deal with it. You know that you won't curl up and go into a shell, and you know that you'll get through it. I think that's the truest form.
Yeah. And yeah, I think a lot of it is just belief about oneself. Like, honestly, if you tell yourself for fucking 10 years, I've spoken, like, the amount of DMs I get, I wish people, like, this is the one thing, I don't want to sound like I'm fucking virtue signaling and I'm this good person, but if people saw the amount of DMs and conversations I have with all these strangers, yeah, I think they'd think different of me. But anyways, I'd have these conversations with these people and they'd tell me these things like, I'm not confident. I'm like, who said? And it's just themselves, or someone has said that they're not confident, or something in their mind has suggested they're not confident, and they've taken on this belief as the truth, and then for the past 8 years or whatever, they've told themselves this same story. I'm not confident. The more you tell yourself this, the stronger the belief gets, and people don't quite understand this. And this goes with not just confidence, with so many things, like anxiety, man. Like, I'm such an anxious person. The more you tell yourself that, the stronger the belief gets. And it's just so sad in this world. But that's why I'm here. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get people to understand that we're not trying to get to confidence. At some stage in your life, you're confident. I promise you that. You just don't remember it. So it's trying to uncover those things, peel back the leaves, and get back to that root.
I'm a massive believer that you don't have to feel confident to do something courageous. Confidence is not a prerequisite for doing.
And it's almost like that notion of, it's not a fake it till you make it, because I feel like when it comes to doing something courageous, it's hard to fake it till you make it. But I feel like it, you know, if you embody something that you want to be, it's almost like self-manifestation. If you tell yourself you want to be something and you start doing it, even if it feels completely unfamiliar to you and uncharacteristic, it's just like putting in the reps in the gym, yeah? If you start doing it, the next time it feels a little bit more comfortable and you start to feel like you're building up that habit stacking mentality towards it, and before you know it, you are that thing.
And it becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I really, really love that.
Yeah. On that note, mate.
On that note, let's do some exposure therapy work. We've got a book here.
Oh, no. Oh, fuck.
We've got Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. Jack, pick a chapter.
My favourite number is 4.
4? All right, let's go chapter 4. And I'm going to let you read it out, actually.
What is it?
Oh, that's cool. So rule number 4 is compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Wow, I can read.
Whoa.
I can read, boys. Hang on, that deserves a high five.
I reckon it does.
And it's a fucking fitting one in a way as well. Wow, comparing yourself to the now, not yesterday.
Yeah. Wow, and they're comparing heights in this, which people do to me all the time.
There you go.
With Myth Busted, Jack
Yeah.
McIntosh can read.
I'm not scared of them either. Funny
You're
enough.
not scared. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
it's funny how people take things out of context. It's funny. It is
Yeah.
funny.
The
But
world's
then-
a crazy place.
Yeah.
What's that?
World is
Oh,
a crazy place.
Yeah, especially the internet. I think it's so easy to see the world how you want to. If you think the world's a negative place, that's how you're going to view it. If you think it's positive, you're going to see a lot of positives.
You just look at the Explore page. I mean, the Explore page is suited to the algorithm that you want to see. I mean, so
Dude.
it matches what you're feeling and what you want to feel.
People make so many excuses to like why the Explore page is what it is, but no, it's genuinely what you consume. It's what you like. So it's actually all to do with you.
Where's the best place? Where's the best place people can find you?
Oh, Instagram, TikTok. I don't know. You're gonna have to link them because for some reason, there's so many Jack McIntoshes out there. So like, I've got to go like JACKKMCINTOSH.
There we go.
So
Brilliant.
it's I don't know, double letters everywhere.
There's the handle, mate. Thank you so much for coming
No,
on.
thank
Glad we
you.
could make it happen.
Thank you for having me on, boys. It was a good chat.